Mrbeast is being sued. Now, I don't need to explain who Mrbeast is. If you're watching a YouTube video, you definitely know who Mrbeast is. And most of you probably also know about Mrbeast Burgers, a business Mrbeast has had for the last couple of years. Essentially, this business was run out of already established restaurants, and people could order the Mrbeast burgers online and then pick them up from the restaurant. Well, on August 1st, it came out that Mrbeast was suing the company he partnered with for Beast Burgers, and it turns out that this has been coming for a few months now, with Mrbeast originally announcing his intentions to discontinue working with this company back in June. Now, these tweets are deleted, but I did do some digging, and this article in Restaurant Business Magazine covers what those tweets said in this article. YouTube star Mrbeast on Saturday tweeted that he is moving on from Mrbeast Burger, a delivery-only restaurant brand he helped create in partnership with Virtual Dining Concepts. In a now-deleted tweet, Mrbeast wrote that it had become impossible to guarantee the quality of the brand across the 2,000 different restaurants that were selling it. He also said he wanted to focus more on his snack brand, Feastables. The tweet casts uncertainty on the future of Mrbeast Burger, one of the most popular concepts to emerge from the virtual brand wave of 2020 and 2021. In a second tweet that was also deleted, Mrbeast wrote that he wanted to shut down Mrbeast Burger, but the company I partnered with won't let me stop, even though it's terrible for my brand. Mrbeast signed a bad deal. So what I can gather from the tone of these tweets is that Mrbeast was trying to find out some way to get out of the deal because he perceives the burgers are ultimately hurting his brand. It seems that the Beast Burgers were part of Mrbeast's efforts to move the Beast brand onto something just beyond a YouTube channel and to something that's more mainstream and tangible, and he's continued that push with stuff like Feastables. But ultimately, it seems like this effort may have backfired on him. I've never had a Beast Burger myself, so I can't speak on their quality personally, but I have seen a lot of people on social media talking about how bad the burgers were, and some of them are just absolutely disgusting. Obviously, Mrbeast thinks that if people have bad experience with Beast Burger, they'll be soured on the Mrbeast brand as a whole, and so he wants to ensure that every single burger is of the highest quality. And I can understand that, especially if you're a perfectionist with your product, which it seems like Mrbeast is, but the reality is that you cannot ensure that every single burger is going to be perfect or without flaw. Now, some of the experiences I saw on social media were really gross, talking about hair in the food being moldy, and the food just being poorly treated, and those are certainly gross, but again, I'm not sure how Mrbeast is supposed to enforce the care for his food. Like the article said, there are over 2,000 restaurants that are doing the Mrbeast Burger partnership. It's really hard to overlook that many workers, especially because the restaurants that are doing this promotion are not restaurants that Mrbeast owns. They're restaurants that he's partnered with. Well, it seems that Mrbeast thought he could ensure the quality of the burgers because now he's suing the company he partnered with for the burgers, Virtual Dining Concepts, and now they're suing Mrbeast back for $100 million. And this article from Variety goes into the details of the lawsuit. The biggest YouTube star in the world, Mrbeast, is being sued by Virtual Dining Concepts, a ghost kitchen company that operates its virtual restaurant chain, Mrbeast Burgers. Virtual Dining Concepts are suing Mrbeast for failing to honor his contractual obligations, as well as intentionally torturous interference. Damages are alleged to exceed $100 million. The suit is in response to Mrbeast suing Virtual Dining Concepts and its parent company last month, seeking to terminate his deal for his restaurant chain, alleging, among other things, that the burgers served were disgusting, revolting, and inedible, and damaged his reputation. VDC fired back last week, calling the YouTuber's lawsuit meritless and ill-advised, claiming that Mrbeast had breached his agreement with the virtual restaurant company and recently attempted to negotiate a new deal to serve his own monetary interests and give up more of the brand to him to terminate his existing contractual obligations without cause. Now the company has formalized its response in the form of a 9-figure lawsuit. This case is about a social media celebrity who believes his fame means his word does not matter, and that the facts do not matter, and that he can renege and breach his contractual obligations without consequence, the suit states. He is mistaken. The new suit claims that Mrbeast breached both of the parties' agreements, and interference with business dealings have damaged the reputation of Mrbeast Burger and VDC, turned away customers, and ruined relationships with suppliers and vendors. The lawsuit contains examples of tweets by Mrbeast, some of which appear to have been deleted from the social media, where Mrbeast wrote to his millions of fans that he wished to close his burger business and states the company I partnered with won't let me stop, even though it's terrible for my brand. Mrbeast signed a bad deal. Another time he wrote, if I had the ability to close it, I would have done so so a long time ago, sadly. Sometimes when you're young, you sign shit deals. The lawsuit states, like any party to a contract, Mrbeast must be held to his word and held accountable for his contractual breaches and other misconduct. It later states Mrbeast Burger's reputation was materially damaged, if not destroyed. Customers abandoned the brand. Playton's hard-won relationships with vendors, partners, and suppliers were shattered, causing damages to Playton's that, according to the evidence in Mrbeast's own statements regarding the value of Mrbeast Burger, are in a 9-figure range. In the original lawsuit against VDC, Mrbeast blamed the company for poor food quality and said that the majority of Mrbeast Burger virtual restaurants had negative culinary reviews from fans who were deeply disappointed by the fact that Mrbeast would put his name on the product. So it seems here that Mrbeast thinks that the handling of Beast Burgers tarnished his brand, and VDC thinks that the Mrbeast Burger affected their brand. And honestly, it's hard to say who's at fault here given the information that we currently have. Hopefully more information and more particulars will be released as this lawsuit continues, if those details will be published publicly. It seems that Mrbeast wasn't happy with the contract he had signed with VDC. Maybe he expected them to do more quality control and wasn't happy when they didn't, and it wasn't in the contract or anything like that. Conversely, VDC is saying that Mrbeast didn't promote the burgers enough, and this has caused damage to their brand. I don't really have a side in this. Honestly, I think it can go either way. This seems like a lot of business logistics and expectations from both parties that the other party didn't even know about or sought to fulfill. If it's true that the restaurants that VDC selected to be a part of this campaign were of poor quality, then maybe they're at fault for that. But if Mrbeast had gone through and actually reviewed every single restaurant and checked to make sure that they were of high enough quality, and he greenlit that, then that's on him. Again, we don't have enough details right now about the particulars of their contract, so it's hard to say. But either way, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with this case.